Greetings, Captains, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command. I'm I'm Captain Terek of the heavy cruiser USS Richmond as we continue our campaign against the Romulan Star Empire. And last time, we managed to capture the starbase at 1911. That is right, we finally have a forward operating base with which to strike into the center heart of the rest of the Romulan Star Empire to stop whatever sort of weapons smuggling, insurrection, weapons of mass destruction, whatever they've been doing in the Federation. And last time, we also got involved in a fight that kind of dented us up a bit. So let us return to our forward outpost and quickly resupply the ship. We're looking at 72 points of damage, replacement of no less than 4 shuttles because we kind of use them. It's very important when you're fighting plasma armed races to use all of your shuttles, as well as a couple of spare parts that we use, but we try and keep topped off just in case we can't get home ever again. And Marines. Marines are, of course, very important if you want to accomplish anything. So let us set out on another mission. Another planetary assault has come up against us. We've already successfully attacked this planet once with our Marines. Let's see if we can't do it again. Hit that red alert, and we do have an enemy target already. It is a light cruiser. What type are you? You are an SPF. I want to say that you're PF tender. And we are currently being escorted by the GCS Death Beast, which appears to be a destroyer, armed with a G-type and 2 F-type plasma torpedoes. An interesting mix, if I do say so myself, and I have. So we'll set up also a Wild Weasel, as well as a Scatter Pack, just in case we actually need them, which I do anticipate requiring. We're also going to check out this planet just as soon as the phaser capacitor gets up to full charge. We do, of course, want to know everything there is to know about the enemy. 1, 2, 3, because we're going to go 4, 5. We're going to charge up the ECM all that we can. We finally have good loading of the probe, and there's another heavy cruiser. He appears to be a hawk of some kind. He is a firehawk. Great, so all the firepower and lots of speed to go with it. Apparently we can make a speed of 6 while doing the full charging. Oh, you're a mauler. I didn't know you could put a mauler on something that small. Fascinating. Let's find out exactly what we're dealing with this planet. Any luck, and we'll be fighting, well, something useless and helpless. So come on, tell me everything that I wish to know. Oh, it's exactly what we were hoping for. It's a defenseless planet. They will have no defense against us except for unless we come at point-blank range, in which case, pain. But otherwise, which we will avoid that pain simply by not getting anywhere near him. He has gone up to 5 points of electronic warfare. Wow, he's really fighting us on this. Photon torpedoes, select to proximity mode, and apparently we're firing into attack ships. He's gone up to 6. We're going to follow him right up there, put no points of ECM power to anything else. We have 2 shuttles ready, which we will prep 2 more, and photon torpedoes away. Immediately getting involved with the barrage. It looks like we got 2 hits, I want to say. Didn't manage to do a whole ton of damage. Photon torpedoes never do, but they are useful weapons to start using. We're going to pull away, try and get behind the Death Beast, let him take basically the entire full front of the initial damage. If we try and do that, we'll get killed. I think we've also sort of... Ooh, there he goes, firing the Mauler. Oh yeah, he forgot he's a Mauler. Yes, literally from the time that we probed him and I started talking, which is about literally a minute ago, I forgot he was a Mauler, which is always interesting. He does have a single G-type plasma torpedo, which shouldn't be undercounted, and he has used it, so now we can come in to deal all the damages. But furthermore, we can come in to deal all the scatter packs. Let me test a button here. Aha, it works! So I have been checking hotkeys, because I want to try and get better at this, and E is scatter pack, W is, of course, Wild Weasel, and B is transporter bombs, something that we have been desperately trying to remember, because that's important, like really important, because we've been... Ooh, Mauler right to the face, and we weren't even reinforcing that forward shield, so we just took damage that we really didn't want to take. He has gone into cloak, and unfortunately our missiles did run out simply because they had no targets. Hi, you. Proximity torpedoes immediately, and turn away, turn away, turn away. Dump a mine, pull away. We got to get as far away from him as we can. Phasers into him if you've got anything. We do have a couple of phasers. And here come the plasma torpedoes right in on us. Hi, Shuttle Bay. Pray, pray, pray. Oh! The prayers were heard, and we did get the Wild Weasel out before we died. We would like to reverse, if at all possible, because he's pulled up to a speed of 8, and I do anticipate him... Oh, hi. Anything? Nothing? No. No phasers? 1 phaser. Okay, that'll work. How's your Mauler doing? In annoyingly good shape, actually. Pick up the speed a little bit. Photon torpedoes, make sure they're set to normal mode, because we want to be able to shoot him with them as soon as we have an opportunity. I would like to deploy another scatter pack, but I want to save it to make sure that I've got the Wild Weasel ready by the time, you know, all hell breaks loose, which I do anticipate happening fairly shortly. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, and now! Managed to take a little bit of hit onto ourselves from the photon torpedo, but that was indeed expected. Wait for it, because I don't want to dump this missile out into this. Now we'll dump the missile out into this. Any sort of phasers you've got? Not really. The phase... Oh, there we go. The phaser one not getting involved there. He did pick it up with a tractor beam, which is not ideal, but we can work with it. His S-type plasma torpedoes are not charging. Oddly, a Sparrow... or a Firehawk that is not quite, you know, living up to the expectations. Photon torpedoes. Figured I had a very narrow window of opportunity to try and pull that one off, and we didn't quite make it. We've lost the forward port shielding. However, well, no, we pretty much just lost the forward port shielding. There's no real silver lining to it at this point, but we will come around. We currently have stern shields, which is nice. He's traveling at 15.5 while cloaked. That's not fun. Stern firing phasers, or rather the 360 mount, getting involved in there. His tractor beams are offline. If he doesn't have a phaser available, it's going to hit him, and it did. Excellent. The Mauler is almost down at this point. We need to pull away a little bit faster because I'm really worried about that Firehawk. In fact, offline starboard photon torpedoes. We're just going to need the speed and the defenses at this point. All weapons. Oh, thanks a lot, Death Beast. That really was not good for us. So we managed to take a mine to the face. We need to pull away from this Firehawk as fast as possible. We got another plasma torpedo inbound on our position, and I'm going to have to believe that's real, because the AI does not often bluff. It was real. Okay, I feel a little bit better about dumping that, because the AI does not often bluff, but on occasion when it does, it makes you feel like an idiot. So with that in mind, we need to pick up the speed just as soon as you can, because I'm assuming he's charging all weapons for a nice little annoyingly dangerous overrun. We're also behind on repair work. Interesting. Fix that. I really don't want to bother the repair part to fix that one. Going to dump another mine, see if we can't get him to turn off. If he turns off in this direction, we can actually go on the offensive. We're going to give that a shot. So let's pick up speed. We're no longer... Oh, crap. Every time I hit red alert, it turns these back on, and I don't want them to be on. I know that seems like such a crazy statement, but I don't want to worry about that. Drop that. Photon torpedoes and a couple of phaser shots. Unfortunately, I think he fired a plasma torpedo. Did he? No, he didn't. Alright, keep the engine repair going. We are 1 point of energy down right now. Need more speed. Port side photon torpedoes to off. Starboard side photon torpedoes are ready to engage. Shotgun loaded. So I'm going to select you, make sure you set to normal mode, and that got through, surprisingly enough. Going to have to avoid hitting the R key, even though I love to hit the R key, because it's my general weapon select, but it'll immediately turn these photon torpedoes back on, and I do not want that right now. Apparently he's taken damage to a starboard side photon or plasma torpedo, so we might have something going on here. I have a shot, I just don't have a good one. So we're going to go F1, or new. Where is my above ground camera? I want to be staring down from godlike aboveness. Apparently I must have accidentally unbound that or something, which is not good, because that's a really useful view to be using. Hi. Oh, good. Nice. So the phasers went off early, but the photon torpedoes went off beautifully. He's up to a speed of 17, and he's turned hard. Important problem. We don't have any more wild weasels. We've used them all. I was kind of relying on being able to be behind the enemy, and this is gonna suck. This is 30 damage right to the stern shield, which there's not much of a stern shield left. So that hurt. We're down to 31 points of energy remaining. I gotta pull away from this guy. I don't have the shuttles to tango with him. Really, I would like the Death Beast to get more involved in this. After all, that is kind of his job at this point. He does, of course, have the biggest weapon right now. I'm gonna shut you off. I'm gonna turn you on to normal mode, because the starboard side plasma photon torpedoes are currently offline, which is not good. 11 points of energy apparently being shunted into the weapons. Now we've got a little bit of power for the shields. How am I doing on electronic warfare? I really should be keeping track of that, shouldn't I? So, don't have a great angle. Because if he decloaks and shoots at me, then he's just going to fry me. So I think there's really only one solution at this point. We're just going to have to run away. Which is a bit of a problem when you're running from a Firehawk. They tend to run quite quickly. So we would like to avoid dying, if at all possible. So I'm just going to set my stern to him and sprint. It's the only real solution at this point. 2 points of energy still down, so pick up the speed. I'm also going to go electronic countermeasures. I'm going to drop you down to 4. That gives me more power to sap for the engine so I can get the distance that I require. Any closer to him and we'll have problems. 2 for photon torpedoes, set to proximity mode. And we are just going to begin a proximity engagement on him. Granted, we're going to need him to kind of decloak in order to successfully do this, but we'll give it a shot. After all, proximity photon torpedoes are relatively accurate. If I can pull him within a certain range bracket, I should be able to do something to him. Although he is about to hit a mine, possibly. Maybe he'll pull off in time, though. The Flamma Aciptor is, of course, the current surviving enemy vessel. And, yeah, if he keeps this up, I might be able to take advantage here. I'd like to get within a range of 20 before I fire these proximity photon torpedoes. I'd also like to have this other photon torpedo ready. Fire! Good hits. 2 of them struck, so that's excellent. We now need to pick up the speed and run, because attempting to get anywhere near him will no doubt result in death, destruction, and pain. These are 3 things that we are desperately trying to avoid. So we're just going to shunt the energy into the engines to pull away. I do not want to get involved with you at too close a range, because you can pretty much kick my ass. And again, something we desperately try and avoid. Looks like this is the current engine power which we can maintain while proximity charging the photon torpedoes. Excellent. And by excellent, a little bit annoying. How are you doing on electronic countermeasures? You're putting none in. I'm going to grab away from that. We'll go down to 2. I will keep track of it if I need to, but I'd prefer not to have to. Photon torpedoes are not right yet. Well, I got 1 to shoot. I may as well. There's no benefit to me to hold it, really. I mean, sure, it makes me a little... it saves me some power, so it's not a problem in a Federation vessel to hold your photon torpedoes. But in an engagement like this, we're basically just looking to plink as much as we possibly can. Because I don't want to get anywhere closer to that than I have to. Because we're out of shuttles. I mean, we do have a single scatter pack left. But that ain't going to get the job done. So he does have a single point of ECM and 1 point of ECCM. So he's trying to counter any sort of basic shenanigans that we might try. Unfortunately, that's not going to work out great for him because, well, we have better shenanigans to try against him. We are in a position where we can actually deal probably a decent amount of damage to him if he decloaks, because we're on a weakened stern shield. The moment he comes out of cloak, I've got probably 8 damage that I can deal to him. It's not a huge amount, but it's sufficient. Although he is starting to turn in my direction. So with that, bon voyage. That didn't hit at all. Okay. But I am still turning away from you, because I'm not getting anywhere near that. And he has been forced to decloak. Unfortunately, we didn't have a photon torpedo that was aiming at him at the time. Let's increase the speed of time, because we are just sort of dancing around each other, and I want these photon torpedoes back on track and ready to kill. So as long as the Death Beast keeps just harrying him with that sort of light phaser fire, we're probably going to be in pretty good shape. I'm going to save the photon torpedoes a little. Oh, he's coming out of cloak. He's coming out of cloak right at the perfect time, too. He did emergency brake stop. However, come on. There it goes. Photon torpedoes. I think I got 3 hits in there. We did strip away his shield another little bit. I don't want to get too close to him, though. I don't mind being kind of close to him if I'm behind him, but I'm not. So, again, he is trying to save time. He's going to charge up his weapon systems. As long as we just keep plinking away, we will be safe. I can't speak for the Death Beast, because the Death Beast is probably pretty vulnerable to what's about to happen. But he knew what he was getting into when he signed up. And he's coming to cloak again. We're going to come around. And, oh, nope, he went back in the cloak. He timed it quite well. Got to give that captain props. He knows when to cloak and decloak, because when the Federation Navy cruiser is facing away from you, you don't have to worry about it, especially not from this range. I would like to send my shots out, but I don't have a good angle on it. Well, I have an angle. Like, we have the photon torpedoes aimed in the right direction. Come on, tell me that... We did get a couple of hits on through. Looks like 2? Really? 3 damage? That's impossible. Well, photon torpedo, I suppose, if it hit the shield and busted through, and there was only 1 point of shield, yeah, that would make sense, I guess. Again, we're just going to keep at the speed. We gotta keep away from him. Getting close is suicide. There's really no other way to put that. Because he does have twin S-type plasma torpedoes. That's the equivalent of 60 damage. That is the equivalent of like 7 photon torpedoes. No, even more. Is it? Photon torpedoes not yet ready. I don't want to get too close, but I have a shot. I don't want to waste it. Although, on the bright side, our shields are pretty much back at full power, which is nice. Come on, give me the photon torpedoes. Give me the shot. Give me the shot. There we go. 4 photon torpedoes away. 3 good hits, 11 damage through, so we managed to crush through his stern shield. We are going to pull away. We cannot engage with him. Again, 60 damage, too much damage to handle. Although the Death Beast getting a couple of nice little shots in with phasers, so the more damage we deal, especially to stern, the more likely we deal damage to power systems, and that's important. I could try and fire my phasers from here. Like, literally, they are armed and able to shoot, but the amount of damage they'll deal is negligible. Then again, we should be through the armor relatively soon. I'm going to continue to pull away. I'm just going to set him to my stern and get running. He did have another Wild Weasel War. That'll give us time to run away. However, he's still getting hit from F-type plasma torpedoes, and it looks like we've started taking out his phaser 3s. His point defense phasers, not as well armored as the normal phasers. They need to be a little bit more exposed so that they can actually defend things. Photon torpedoes, 4 more. Looks like another 2 hit. Alright, unfortunately that didn't punch through that shield, so we are still going to have to stick to range out here. Again, increase the speed of time so we can do that. Plasma Scepter is struggling, but plasma torpedoes are still there. And I'm not willing to get involved in that fight because, ugh, that's 30 damage, and that is no joke. He's coming to cloak once again. Our photon torpedo is not quite ready, but there we go. 3 hits on him, despite the jamming. And I'm going to come in. This is incredibly dangerous. I'm going to come to a range of about 10, fire my phasers, and immediately break off to starboard. So a range of 10, fire the phasers, and immediately break off to starboard. We're not going to get involved too stupidly in this. Oh, he did fire his plasma torpedo, though. So now we can turn on in. He's only got a single plasma torpedo left. It's time to engage. And this is the key moment with Federation vessels. You have to pick your moment to go in. And this is ours. His plasma torpedo is a turn and a half away from being ready. Our phasers are half a turn from being prepared. We're about to get a scatter pack on top of him. He doesn't have a tractor beam. He does have a shuttle bay, but I don't think he's got any shuttles left. So all weapon select will hit him with a big phaser barrage right here. And wasted the missiles. But I will take wasted missiles any day over the opportunity to actually kill him. So it's time to go after the planet now. Excellent. So, continue to engage with proximity photon torpedoes as soon as you hit range of 55. And, of course, the Death Beast coming along with us. So wait for it, and commence photon torpedo bombardment. You managed to not hit the planet. I suppose you were firing into a defense ship, but still, you missed the planet. Sometimes, fire control, you really make me wonder. There you go. No, you still missed the planet. Because the planet doesn't have shields. This is an undefended planet. And you missed it. We have an attack shift of 0. Do proximity photon torpedoes just not work or something? Because again, photon torpedoes to normal mode. Maybe proximity photon torpedoes aren't going to work because he doesn't have a shield. Let's start to slow down. We don't want to crash into the planet. Just commence phaser engagement. Start dealing any damage that you can, because apparently proximity photon torpedoes on a planet don't work. That might be a bug. I may have to go and report that one. Because proximity photon torpedoes are going to be kind of important as we pull up on the bright green planet, which you might mistake for Romulus. It is not. Romulus, while indeed partially green, is not quite this verdant. So wait for the range to close down. Again, we have to stay outside of our range of 3, thanks to his 8 phaser 3s, which could hurt. I mean, that's the equivalent of 2 Gatling phasers, which is painful, don't get me wrong. 2 Gatling phasers will ruin your day. Not very much, but... No, actually, no, that's not true at all. We use, on the X-type cruisers, there's going to be 4 Gatling phasers on the stern, 2 on each side, and that little... Oh, crap! Too close, too close! Sorry. Fire everything. Remember how we weren't going to get within this range? We kind of got within that range. But that's okay, because I assume I'll be able to shoot down the planet before the planet can kill me. Yes, that's exactly how that works. Federation cruiser will shoot down the planet. Just you watch, pay attention, and witness and learn the fantasticness that is the Federation heavy cruiser. We do have a little bit of damage to our transporter array. I don't quite know what it is, but we're about to find out. Please tell me the shields are holding through that one. Well, I hope so. We're about to find out. So just keep blasting away. Yep, looks like we've taken out half of his phasers complement. And they can't seem to deal enough damage to stop us. Photon torpedoes are on a cycle. They're not quite synced up, but that's alright. So how much is left on this planet? 2, because they've repaired most of the stuff. If you can... Oh, they're trying to repair more of it. We got to stop that from happening. I do believe the shields are still holding, I hope. I do see the little shield icon, which tells me they're still there, but, you know, it's always a little bit worrisome. Although we have mostly taken out all of his phasers. It takes us 17 points of energy to charge all the systems on the ship. I want to just point that out there. Federation heavy cruisers are well equipped, that is true. Not so much for power, though. We could use... I kind of want to say we want about 4 more points of power. More like 7 points of power, really. Because that would really kind of be it. Hi, how are we doing? We're down to 3. We've got 1 more barrage. There we go, 2. Send over the Marines. Let's find out exactly if we can steal this planet or not. Of course we can steal the planet. I mean, we won't steal the tile, but we will have succeeded in our raid upon the weapons warehouse shipment where they're making the biological, chemical, nuclear-based life forms that will come and wipe out some kind of Federation colony that was perfectly peaceful. Yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. We are the good guys after all. We have fully justified reasons for invading the Romulan Star Empire. Mostly because they started it, I assume. There we go. We got the planet in a mission that I wasn't quite 100% sure we'd be able to pull off. But I am happy to see we did. Although at the cost of 4 shuttles and a plasma-S torpedo to the stern, which hurt. I thought about trying to do a high-energy turn at that point, but I decided it wasn't enough time. The Empire defense is down to 25. We do need to come home. We're at 3,086 prestige. Please tell me there's something really cool you'll sell me for that much. And I'm just not seeing it. Nope. We got a light dreadnought here, which is basically our heavy cruiser plus 2 missiles and a photon torpedo. And maybe a couple more phasers, maybe not. But that's another 1,800 away, but we're not quite in a position to afford that. So let's quickly restock on supplies. After all, we want all the supplies that we can possibly get. We used quite a few Marines, either defending against boarding actions or getting killed when, you know, random explodium conduits exploded. Also, top off the missiles. Wow, we spent actually quite a bit of money on that. But that's going to wrap things up for today. Another successful strike against a planet before returning home to 1911 for repair and refit. We will set out once again tomorrow to... Oh, maybe not tomorrow. No, tomorrow is away team. We shall find out more of what's going on with the late Gulf and the USS Incursion. Until then, I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I post one of these videos, press that little bell icon. Leave a comment. What do you think the Romulans did to start this war, if they were the ones who did it? And I will see you all in the next episode.